Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicle Night channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please take a second to click the like button if you like this video or hit the thumbs down if you don't. Also, if you enjoy the contents of this channel, please subscribe if you haven't already. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at Kingler VMAX from the Brilliant Stars set and how awesome it is when you can make two kings join forces together to win games. This King Crab and Kingdra himself. So the strategy of this whole build is to use Kingler V or Kingler VMAX to build up water energy and energize our attackers. And with all the water energies in play, even if our attacking Pokemon gets knocked out, Kingdra can absorb all of those water energies, and with enough energies, Kingdra can one-hit KO any Pokemon in the game. So let's take a look at this build. Let's first start off with Kingler V. Kingler V has two attacks. The first one is Falling Bubbles. For 1 water energy, you flip a coin, and if it's heads, you can search your deck for up to 5 water energies and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. While it's not 100% guaranteed, being able to energize most of your attacker turn 1 going second is too powerful. I'm using 2 copies of Glimwood Tangle Stadium so that where possible, we can reflip the coin of Kingler's attack, increasing our success rate. Its second attack is actually really good too. Raging Pinsir for 2 water and 1 colorless energy. It deals 200 damage, but it also deals 30 damage to itself. And with the help of the Choice Belt, we can increase its attack by 30 more damage when going against a Pokemon V. Its Gigantamax form is Kingler VMAX. It has 330 HP, 3 retreat cost, no resistance, and is weak to lightning. It has 2 attacks. The first one is Bubbles Galore. For 1 water energy, you can search your deck for 5 water energies and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. This is similar to Kingler V's Falling Bubbles attack, but this one doesn't require you to flip a coin. You just straight up get 5 energies from your deck and put them onto your Pokemon any way you like. Its second attack is G-Max Pinsir for 2 water and 1 colorless energy. It deals 240 damage, however, it also does 30 damage to itself. Again, with the help of the Choice Belt, you can increase its attack up to 270 damage against V Pokemon. I also added 1 copy of the Zigzagoon with the Headbutt Tantrum ability, just so I can add 1 extra damage counter, because 280 is just the right range for knocking out most of the V-Star Pokemon like Arceus V-Star, and of course, Scoop Up Net to reuse Zigzagoon's ability. This will be our main attacker for this build so that we can fully showcase this delicious crab. To partner with Kingler though, I have a 2-1-2 line of Kingdra. This one is just going to sit pretty in the bench while waiting to absorb water from its fallen allies. While it's a stage 2, it has an awesome ability, Deep Sea King. When your active Pokemon gets knocked out by damage from an attack, you can move as much water energy from that Pokemon onto this Kingdra. And this ability pairs perfectly with its attack, Aqua Burst. Starting with 1 water energy, this attack does 40 damage times each water energy attached. And with all that water energy, its attack damage output will also continue to increase up to the point of knocking out any Pokemon in the game. Ideally, you would want to set up 2 or more of these where possible so that you'll have 2 chances of hitting a knockout when the energy transfers from one Kingdra to the next. I added 2 rare candies to help evolve this. As a backup attacker, I've also included 1 copy of Wailord V, more for its Ocean Waves attack. For 4 water energy, you flip 3 coins, and for the number of heads, it deals 120 damage each, where you can deal as much as 360 damage, which pretty much knocks out any Pokemon in the game. Since we are using Glimwood Tangle anyways and Kingler VMAX to power up its attack, I thought this would be a great fit for this build, but then again, its attack is not always a guarantee. That's why I only added 1 copy in this build. For my other support Pokemon, I have Snorlax with the Gormandize ability for that extra drawing power, but I only put 1 of this because you really want to start the game with Kingler V anyways for that powerful energy acceleration. Next is Luminion V with its Luminous Sign ability. If you play it from your hand to your bench, you can search your deck for any supporter card. And I also have Manaphy, which is a great addition to this build because its Wave Veil ability will prevent any damage being done to your bench. As for the other cards, Switch is very important to this build just because Kingler V and VMAX have huge retreat cost. I also added 1 Cheryl to completely heal all of our evolved Pokemon. I thought this was a good addition because each time Kingler VMAX attacks, it deals damage to itself and eventually it may just get knocked out, and with Cheryl, you may just be able to avoid that. But just be careful with this one because all of your evolved Pokemon that have damage on it will get fully healed, but you will discard all energy from those Pokemon. I also have Marnie to shuffle energies back to the deck so that Kingler can accelerate them I have 2 Boss's Orders and 2 Professor's Research, as well as 2 Shaunas. I added 2 Shaunas instead of having 4 Professor's Research because I needed to preserve most of the cards in this build, so Shauna was a better option to draw 5 cards. And I'm going with 3 Skylas in this build. I think this is the more important supporter in this build because it can get you Glimwood Tangle Stadium when you need it on your first turn, Rare Candy for Kingdra, or whatever trainer card you need. And I've included 14 water energies in this build, and since Kingdra will preserve most of our energies, I just included one energy recycler for recovering 5 energies from the discard pile back to the deck. Honestly, Kingler VMAX is such a powerful card. Not only is it great for accelerating a lot of energies, it can also deal huge amount of damage. And that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. And now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Kingler VMAX. But first, let's hear it from our sponsors. This video is sponsored by PTCGO the best place for you to get PTCGO code cards. Are you looking to complete your Pokemon card collection online for the latest set? PTCGO has everything you need. Please use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so you can get a 5% discount. Help yourself out with the discount, and thank you for helping support the content I create in this channel and for helping out PTCGO Okay, we're going to be able to go first in this matchup. I'm still debating whether or not it's better to go first or to go second in a match. Obviously, on your second turn, on your first turn going second, you can attack with Kingler V and be able to energize. One other thing you have to have though is other Pokemon on the bench to accelerate energies onto. But it's also not 100% guarantee, and even with the Glimwood Tangle, it's still not 100% guarantee. So I don't know, but if you go first on your second turn, if you can evolve into Kingler VMAX, then it's 100% guarantee, and you're going to be able to energize your Pokemon to be able to attack on your third turn. But that does put a Kingler VMAX in the active, in the open to receive an attack, which is not good either because with Kingler VMAX, it does deal damage to itself each time you attack, so it becomes a greater liability when it sits in the active. So we are able to evolve into Kingler VMAX, but can't get enough energies onto it to attack just yet. So we will have to use Bubbles Galore to just put all these energies onto it. So what we aim to do anyways is to build up a Kingdra and hopefully be able to set it up fast enough so that even if they end up knocking out our Kingler VMAX, we will be able to absorb all those energies and deal a one-hit KO. So we're going up against an Inteleon VMAX build. They should be fairly easy to win, I hope, because Inteleon doesn't hit for a lot of damage. I mean, I guess it does. It can 2-hit KO our Kingler VMAX, especially each time we attack, we deal 30 damage to ourselves, so it's not good. We get a Horsey from our top deck, which is great. Just knock out this Zigzagoon for the meantime, and we have Rare Candy and an Evolution Incense, so we will be able to set up a Kingdra on our next turn. So, oh man, but my opponent's gonna Marnie and shuffle that to the bottom of my deck. So now I have a problem. I won't be able to build up my Kingdra. I might not be able to build up my Kingdra, but we'll see. Okay, I'll just attach this and then use Professor's Research. We have Evolution Incense. Okay. At least we have a stage 1 so that we can evolve into a Kingdra on our next turn. But then, yeah, we should be fine because they won't be able to knock out our Kingler anyways just yet. So we'll just take another prize from that Sobble. And yeah, be able to absorb all that energy on our next turn. So we can even leave this Kingler VMAX in the active and just take a knockout, have our opponent knock it out so that we can absorb all the energy. But they're gonna boss my Wailord V. I don't know why. They're more scared of our Wailord V, I guess. But that's okay. Let me set up another Kingler V, just in case, and then I'll get my Kingdra. So we're now ready to go. And then we have switch. Yeah, let me just switch my Kingler VMAX. Use Marnie. Evolve Seadra. So we have a potential of setting up another Kingdra actually. Deal 240 damage against this Inteleon VMAX. So Kingler VMAX on its own is actually a really powerful card. not only can you accelerate a lot of energy, it can also hit for a lot of damage. You can pretty much 2-hit KO any Pokemon in the game, VMAXs that is. And with this setup that I have with the Zigzagoon, if you have a choice belt on Kingler VMAX, it can hit for 270 damage, and then if you can deal 1 damage counter to a V-Star, most likely you'll be able to knock it out. If they don't have any way to modify their HP, like if they put Big Charm to add HP, you'll be able to 1-hit KO V-Star Pokemon. So we'll add another energy. I'll just get a Kingdra again. So now we have 2 main attackers to absorb all those energies if we need to. If they manage to knock out our Kingler VMAX, we can absorb it, and then the other Kingdra will be able to absorb the other energies, even if they end up knocking out one of our Kingdras. So we are knocking out their Inteleon VMAX. We get 3 prizes for that. And despite the damage recoil, we still survive. And that's what you don't want to do, is that if you attack and then you damage yourself and you get knocked out, Kingdra will not absorb those energies. So be careful when you do that. They are going to boss my Manaphy, but you know what? We won't need it at this point because we're just going to knock out your Inteleon VMAX. Although they are going to hit the bench for 60 though. Let me just add another energy on Kingler VMAX. If I attack, I won't get knocked out. I'll survive with 10 HP. But if they have like a quick shooting Inteleon, then that will knock me out, and I will not be able to absorb. Kingdra will not be able to absorb those energies. But I'm just gonna take a risk. Let's hope that they don't have like a Zigzagoon, because that's all they need. If they have a Zigzagoon, deal 1 damage. There's the quick shooting. Okay. No. What? Okay. Dude, they put the damage counter on my Wailord, and it wasn't even enough to knock it out. So now we're gonna transfer all those energy onto Kingdra. They actually could have won this game. Oh my. Alright, we'll just transfer all those energies. 9 energies in total. And all I have to do is add 1 more. Actually, I don't even need to. This is basically overkill. So we'll just knock this out. Aqua Burst for 430 damage. There you go. Good game. Okay, my opponent's going to go first in this match. We're going to start off with a Manaphy. And not a good Pokemon to start with, but at least we have Quick Ball, so we can grab Kingler V from our deck. And we are going up against a Reshiram, amazing rare. It's been a while since I've seen amazing rares in the ladder. And I think Azul GG just showcased one. So let's see if we can win this match. And Reshiram Amazing Rare, I think, is the only Amazing Rare I have not showcased in my channel. So I might have to do that at some point in the future. At least we got a Kingler from our top deck. We don't have an energy though. Since this is our first turn going second, we might be able to get an energy, and hopefully we'll succeed with the Kingler's attack. I'll just put this choice belt on Kingler V, use Shauna, and we got an energy and Glimwood Tangle. Look at that. So let's take a chance here. Falling Bubbles. Nice. We don't even need to reflip the coin. So we got 5 water energies turn 1, guys. This is insane. Kingler V is so awesome. So what I'm going to do is just fully energize my Kingler V and put 3 on my Wailord V. So now we have 2 attackers all ready to go. We have Glimwood Tangled, and we also have Professor's Research for our next turn, so we can draw into more cards. Now they're gonna switch out their Reshiram, and now they have Galarian Moltres V in the active. which I don't think they can attack this turn yet because they need 3 energies on Moltres. They can attach an energy. If they discard 1 dark energy, they can get it with the ability, but they won't be able to attack this turn. They put a fire energy onto their Reshiram, but still won't be able to attack. So Reshiram can do 270 damage, and with the choice belt, it can do 300. That's insane. So I'll grab Kingler VMAX, boot out their stadium there, because that's gonna help them energize. So it's better off that they don't have it. Might as well knock out this Moltres V, getting us our first 2 prizes, and that's 1 less attacker on their side. So now all we have to do is contend with their Reshiram. It definitely has the power to knock us out. It needs a dark energy and a lightning energy. They have Flaffy, so they can energize it with a lightning energy and attach a dark energy onto it. And they could just knock out our Kingler VMAX just like that. But they need 2 more energies and a choice belt to make that happen. And also a switch to get this Bibarel out of the active. So they're gonna switch out or bump out our Glimwood Tangle. We don't have any more Glimwood Tangle. Not that we need it. The only one that really needs it is Wailord V. But Kingler VMAX is good to go. They're gonna use Raihan. They don't have lightning energy is the problem, I think. I mean, they can use Bibarel to draw into more cards. And Raihan can get a lightning energy, right? So if they have lightning energy, there's an air balloon. They scoop up net Bibarel. What? Dude, there's no lightning energy. Okay. Okay. So we are safe. We have boss's order. I think what I'm going to do is just target that Reshiram there, because it's the most dangerous right now. It just needs 1 lightning energy to knock us out. Might as well use Wailord V. This is a Wailord V showcase as well. I mean, it's included in the deck, so might as well. And then we'll evolve into a Kingdra, just in case we get knocked out. And 1 heads is even enough to knock out a Reshiram, so 480 damage, that's insane. Because we are hitting for weakness, so... Yeah, I mean, Reshiram, Reshiram could be good if you can set it up properly for a 1 prizer, hitting for 300 damage. That's crazy. But yeah, this matchup just is in our favor. We are just faster, and then they didn't get their lightning energies. And there's the scoop. Man, good game. Alright, on to our next match. We're going to start off this game with a Snorlax. I actually have been able to win with Snorlax a lot of times, because with Kingler VMAX or Kingler V being able to accelerate so much energy, sometimes I don't know where to put it, and so I just put it onto Snorlax. And Snorlax actually does really great with its Body Slam, does 100 damage, and then if you flip a coin successfully, you can paralyze your opponent's active Pokemon. So Snorlax, don't discount Snorlax as a good attacker for this build, because it is a good attacker if you need it. So just put Zigzagoon, that will thin out our hand. Put the choice belt on Kingler V, and I'm just going to Gormandize this turn. We have a switch. We could always just scoop up Snorlax out of the active, but we do need an energy. And so this Granbull needs only 2 colorless energy, and it deals 10 extra damage for each card, or for each damage counter on it. So I guess the strategy here is to just not hit this Granbull V. If at all possible, we can 1-hit KO this Granbull. But they're gonna Marnie us. Okay, they're gonna Marnie. It's gonna say we have Horsey. We could have set up our Kingdra line, but we weren't able to do that. And now our Snorlax will be trapped in the active. We're just gonna wait for it until it gets knocked out, or until we get a switching option. So they have the Zacian V to accelerate an energy, so they will be able to attack with this Granbull V. We put Glimwood Tangle, this other Kingdra, energize this one, use Professor's Research. We do need that, and can attach this to this Kingler, and I'll try and set up my Horsey Kingdra line for our next few turns if we can get a Skyla. There is a Skyla, so we can actually use Skyla to get rare candy, and we can evolve into Kingdra on our next turn. Okay, Bull Dash does 190. It's gonna knock out Snorlax. Okay, and that actually does a hefty amount of damage on our Kingler. So I mean, Kingler will survive an attack, but still, that's gonna put it one step closer to getting knocked out. So I'll just evolve into Kingler VMAX, I think. And what I'm gonna do here is get a Quick Ball. I can use that to get Luminian V, so that we can get a support card that we need. Kingdra will be set up our next turn. Then I'll just put an energy on Kingler for the meantime, and I'm just gonna use let me get rid of this Shauna. Might as well set up Wailord V so that we have an extra attacker, since we're getting a lot of energies from our deck anyway. So we get 5 energies from our deck. I'll put 2 energies on Kingler VMAX so we can attack with it, and then I'll set up my Wailord V. So it's 1 energy short of being able to attack on our next turn. Okay, they're unsuccessful with the Crushing Hammer. And as long as we have that Glimwood Tangle, we have a chance to use Wailord V's attack, and hopefully we get a one-hit knockout on one of their VMAXs. We are able to set up our Kingdra finally. And then I think I'll just attack, knocking out this Granbull V. That was the thing though, we wanted to one-hit KO their Granbull because we don't want to leave it alive. The more damage counter it has, the higher the attack will be. But right now they don't have any other energies on their other Pokemon, so we should be safe unless they have a double turbo energy. And you've probably seen my showcase on this Mimikyu VMAX, and they can deal 130 damage, 13 damage counter to spread damage, but they don't have anything. They're just going to use Zacian V's ability, which ends their turn. It accelerates energy, but it ends their turn. So we're good. So the thing is, Kingler VMAX is a liability. They can knock it out, and then they get 3 prizes for it. But we have Cheryl, and that's why I added Cheryl in this build. What I'm going to do is just retreat. We're going to discard all those energy anyways when we use Cheryl. And then we're just going to heal Kingler back up to full HP. Then we're going to try Wailord's attack. We get 2 heads, and I think I'm gonna stay with that. I'm gonna stick with that. 240 damage is a fair amount of damage. I don't think we need to be too greedy with that. They're gonna use Acerola. If they have another energy, they can spread 13 damage, but it's not gonna be enough to knock out our Kingdra. They're probably targeting our Zigzagoon, which I actually should have just scooped up on our last turn, but it is what it is. But I wonder where they're going to spread that damage. Alright, they're just going to knock out my Zigzagoon and also damage my Wailord V. And that's fine, because now we can actually knock out this Mimikyu VMAX. And they're just going to scoop. Alright, good game. Alright, on to our next game. My opponent is going to go first, and this is a chance for us to see how well Kingler V does going second. Okay, we are up against the Rapid Strike Urshifu V. or a VMAX with the water energy. So they I think are probably using Melanie. And we got Wailord V from our top deck. There is no other Pokemon that we can energize. And I think I'll just have to take a chance here. There's there's really nothing much I can do. Falling Bubbles. There it is. We got heads and we get 5 energies to put on to our Pokemon. So now I can put 3. I have 1 energy on hand. But I think I'll just fully energize my Wailord V. And on my next turn I have Kingler VMAX. Attach 1 energy and I can deal 240 damage. If they don't evolve into a VMAX, we can knock out this Rapid Strike Urshifu V. But they are going to Marnie me, so that's going to put my Kingler VMAX to the bottom of my deck. Hopefully I have Evolution Incense, but I get nothing. However, we did get 1 energy from that Marnie, so at least we can attach that energy onto Kingler V. And so we can attack next turn. If we had only attached the Choice Belt onto Kingler V, we can actually knock out this Urshifu V. Although they're probably just going to evolve into a VMAX this turn. No, they don't. Okay. Well, I mean, still, we won't be able to knock out their Urshifu V. And we won't quite knock it out, but 200 damage is a half the amount of damage. And despite 30 damage onto our Kingler V, Rapid Strike Urshifu V's attacks won't be able to knock out Kingler. So even if they evolve into a VMAX, we can just knock it out. And even if they use Gale Thrust or Gmax Rapid Flow, it's not gonna knock out Kingler or our Wailord. So we're in a good position here. And I think this matchup, we are just ahead in that our opponent is just not finding the energies that they need so far to attack. Their Octillery couldn't evolve last turn and they still don't have energy to attack. And so we're just going to take this chance to knock out this Urshifu VMAX, get our 3 prizes. And they don't have any other attackers at this point. So we'll just take our 3 prizes, 2 water energies, and a Skyla. So with Skyla, we can even evolve into a Kingler VMAX on our next turn and can even knock out this Metachan V. So Wailord V is good, but it's a high risk because even with a Glimwood Tangle, it's not a guarantee that you're gonna hit for 360 damage. So 4 energies, potentially 360 damage. It's not an ideal build for me with this Kingler VMAX, but it does work. It could work if you're willing to take the chance. So I'll just put an energy there, and I think I'm gonna get an Evolution Incense, get my Kingler VMAX, and I'll just knock out this Metachan V for 2 prizes. Yeah, I don't know what my opponent is doing. It's either they're dead drawing at this point, and we are just way ahead. There's no way they can win this game anymore. There's no way they can knock out any of our Pokemon. And all we need is 1 more prize. We're just going to be able to take the win here. Fairly simple, but you can see how Kingler VMAX just dominated this Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX build. It's just, there was no way. Even if they had attacked initially, I think we would have still won this game because we were just hitting for a lot of damage. Yeah. Yep. Their bench is full. Let me just do this. Why not? And I'll just knock out their Octillery Gmax Pinsir, 240 damage, winning us the game. Alright, let's get into another game. We have Kingler V to start. That's the best option. We have 2 Horsies, an Evolution Incense, and a Rare Candy. So we can set up a Kingler fairly fast. And we got a Kingler VMAX from our top deck. So we can't attack just yet. But on our next turn, it's 100% guaranteed with our Kingler VMAX. putting all those energies onto our attacker. First onto Kingler VMAX so that we can attack for 240 damage. And again, if my opponent knocks out my Kingler VMAX, we can transfer all of those energies onto our Kingdra once we set it up. So we're going against a Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX build, Zacian V build. Okay. Since we're hitting for a lot of damage, we're gonna be okay. It's no longer a threat because it takes time for them to energize their Pokemon. So we're gonna take that chance to set up as much as we can. We can knock out the Zacian V, then we can energize our Kingdra, even with this first energy acceleration. Bubbles galore, energy acceleration. They're gonna Marnie, and I actually appreciate that because all the cards I have on hand are terrible. Get an Evolution Incense and a Quick Ball. One thing I've noticed with Kingler VMAX though is that once you use Bubbles Galore once early in the game, you end up not using it again later on. For the most part, okay? I'm not saying you can't do that, but for the most part, that's what ends up happening. Let's use Quick Ball to get a Whale Lord. Energize it. I can always just energize it slowly. And I'll just knock out this Zacian V because it's annoying. Right now, it's the only one that can attack because they won't be able to energize their Pokemon, I don't think. They'll have to evolve into Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. They need energy on hand. And it's odd that they're also playing Togekiss V. Very interesting inclusion. I can understand Necrozma V, but not Togekiss V. No idea why they're playing that. But with their money, we get a Kingdra so we can evolve on our next turn. So now we have 2 Kingdras available. Energize Wailord 1 energy at a time. Get another knockout off of this Togekiss V for another 2 prizes. So all we need is 2 more prizes. And we get a boss. My goodness. This game, this game is just too easy. We just never let our opponent energize at all. Can they make a comeback? Never underestimate your opponent because sometimes any player can make an epic comeback. I've had games with Kingler VMAX that I'm facing off against single prizers where I totally was obliterated. So Kingler VMAX is weak against lightning, so lightning type builds will definitely overpower this Kingler VMAX build, especially Kingdra is also weak against lightning. And Wailord V is also weak against lightning. So lightning matchups, terrible matchup for us. And single prizers are also pretty good. I fought a Torterra and it was just a really bad game. I just lost. Torterra is really powerful, especially against VMAXs. They used an escape rope on us, and so I had no other choice but to put my Kingdra with no energies into the active. They get 1 prize off of that, but still, that's 1 less Kingdra from my side of the board, and that could just cost me the game. But at least they're not going to be able to boss and knock out my Kingdra, so we're still okay. And they don't even knock out our Kingdra in the active. That's insane. So I'll just get rid of their stadium so that we don't get hurt. And I'll just use Professor's Research. And we get a lot of switch. Look at this. Lots of switch. So what I'm going to do is just sacrifice my Kingler VMAX. And I'll just use Bubbles Galore. We only need 2 more energies anyways. And it just... Our crab is so appetizing, my opponent's just going to eat it up, knock it out. They're not going to bother with the other Pokemon on our bench, you know. It's just steaming, delicious crab. Just going to get knocked out, and then our Kingdra will absorb all of those energies leaving no chance for our opponent to survive the next attack. The upcoming attack is just, there is no surviving it. Yeah. Shadow Rider Calyrex is no longer a threat, guys. No longer a threat. As long as you have a delicious crab on your side, and it's the cheapest VMAX in this set, I think. You can get a Kingler VMAX for a single pack. They have Pumpkaboo to remove our stadium, which we don't really need. I mean, Wailord V if we're attacking with Wailord V, but we're gonna attack with Kingdra here. They're gonna knock out my Kingler VMAX. We're just gonna transfer all this energy onto our Kingdra, and we have another reserve. So even if they knock out the Kingdra with a lot of energy, there's no chance. Again, we need just 2 more prizes. We're gonna get 3 from this Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. I'm just waiting for my opponent to get their 3 prizes, and we're gonna pivot into our Kingdra in the active. And what we could do is just add 1 more energy even, and Aqua Burst for 400 damage. Excellent. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicle Night channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.